I have reason to suspect that there is a cave nearby, notably from Shrine Detector and also from quests that I've been doing. You didn't watch. Look at that! Look at the ocean. I was thinking about walking up here, just that really small touch of just like the plainly 2D clouds arranged in like several different layers, and how that's like really pretty and like really high definition to some extent, but also like you could do this trick on a game that had a quarter of the resolution that this game does. I'm just thinking about that, thinking about art stuff in games lately. Let's go down here. Oh, I need to go check that out. That's not a cave, but I am going to go over there in a minute. But first, here's a secret cave. We're on Eventide Isle, which I was going to talk about, but forget that. We have a pirate ship here. This is the coolest thing. This cave is really cool. I remember being very excited about this cave the first time I played this game. There's this whole notion that here in this more seaward section of the map that there's a whole lot of irregular type enemies have all turned to piracy, which is delightful and good, and they made this really good ship asset that they only use in a few spots because you can't do too much with it, but it's very good. I do enjoy... Ooh, what's that? This is a sneaking mission. I was thinking a lot about asset reuse in the context of specifically MMORPGs, because I'm always, despite the fact that I never am going to have time in my life to play MMORPGs again, I think a lot about MMORPGs. And how those are games that just have a ton of area to cover and a ton of space to fill with stuff, and particularly enemies, and you gotta stretch some of those. Not every development house, and this is not just MMOs, this is just games in general, has the capacity to like create new enemies for every situation. And so here we've just got the regular routine enemies, but they're all around a pirate ship, so there's this implication that they're like a pirate crew, and that's great. I love that. Nobody over here. Oh, there's a way up, though. That was another way I could have stealth killed that guy instead of wasting resources. But, folks, I have so many resources. Like, there's a case to be made, like, they had the development timer energy to make variant guys, but, you know, like the same Pokemon, but with a pirate bandana or something, but like one I think that goes against some of the background design philosophy, which is like making sure that enemies are just recognizable and you don't have to deal with people who have to deal with confusing the player with, like, variations of established monsters beyond, you know, the tier variations that we have for the different... What am I doing with this? I don't know what I want to do with this. Okay, let's get away from this. Dealing with the tier variations beyond that, like... And that's probably the correct choice for this specific game. Talking about that just now gave me the notion that the reason they would never do... Well, I'll check that out in a second. They never put a master mode in this game, surprisingly. And then I realized, talking about it, that to do so would necessitate creating a new, like, gold level of each enemy, which would then introduce a gold horn. which would upset a lot of the balance that has been put in the game. And I can think of some very, like, crude and quick ways to deal with that, but maybe they didn't want to do that. Maybe they didn't want to upset the balance that they had established. I want this stick really bad. What can I get rid of? Nothing. I've got too many good weapons. We'll come back for the stick. You could do gold monsters that we put gold horns in the game, but they're functionally the same to silver horns. Because it's not like in... I mean, not that I played any Master Mode in Breath of the Wild, but they did not add new weapons for Master Mode. You were still on the uppest echelon of weapons that were available. And that could just be sufficient. But anyway, we got this pirate crew here. They're established as pirate crew by being on a pirate ship. There's a bunch of flavor text here on Eventide Isle about them looking for the source of the pirates that have been plaguing the area. But this is a great idea for a cave. Hidden Pirate Cove. Like the Goonies, I think. I think that's what happens in the Goonies. I have never seen... I don't think I've seen the Goonies. Drowned. You can go down there and get the horn. So, those are good horns. I just know by reputation and by... reputation. That's and pop culture references to the original work. Very much I have obtained this information by osmosis. I told you I was gonna come back to that stick. No, what do you mean I can't take that stick? How did I grant another weapon so quickly? Get out of here. Won't stick. Okay. It's good. I think it's good. It's probably good. He went back to bed immediately. Do my work for me while I snoop around this pirate ship, please. Oh, this is my weapon that's about to break, right? Hey, guess what? Eat it. Alright, wait. If I were to hide something, I would hide... Oh my gosh. You're gonna make me... Oh boy. Tell you what, let's go up here real quick. Oh, there's a shrine over there. There's a shrine that's... I gotta build a bridge to get to. That's fascinating. It's a bow that I don't want. Oh! Good throw. Can I do something fun like this? That was not as fun as anticipated. I don't know what's happening exactly, there's kind of a little bit happening. This guy should be dead soon. Yeah. I definitely also just been feeling like playing hundreds of hours of this game with the same combat is just a little tiresome. Keep these, we're gonna need these. Okay. I was watching a playthrough of Twilight Princess lately. I'm thinking a lot about Twilight Princess. It's a game that, like, I go back and forth on. I don't think that it's very good. Except that sometimes it's really good. And trying to reconcile that has always felt difficult. And that's a game that, like, weirdly has... There's, like, a full extension that happens where you start with Ocarina of Time, where they were like, how do you do 3D combat? How does one do that? And they figured out that... oh, what's the story? That they were at a theme park or something and watched two, like, play sword fighters circling each other. And they invented Z-targeting. And they kind of leverage that as best they can in the 64 games. And then Wind Waker comes around and they thought, well, what if we added a button that lets you do a counterattack? And it's very primitive. It's very... I want to, like, be belittling to it a little bit, but I mean it affectionately when I say it's very Fisher-Price. Literally have your GameCube controller that... I love the GameCube controller, don't get me wrong. But you do just hit the big button with the right timing, and then a really cool attack happens with a really cool sound effect, and it feels great every time, even if it's not very difficult. But clearly they were thinking about that iteration when they made the next iteration in Twilight Princess, where you can still kind of do that, but it requires a little more movement and a little more precision. And you're given, like, a full suite of similar style moves. Which, that game is also not very hard. But it just ends up feeling a little more spicy. And maybe a little less, like, immediately rewarding, but kind of fun. Is that far enough? Oh, so is. But then here you've got Twilight Princess Combat, which... Not Twilight Princess Combat, sorry, Breath of the Wild Combat. That I'm kind of just worn out on. And this happened also when I played Breath of the Wild, where at a certain point in Breath of the Wild, I just stopped fighting enemies. I just said, I have enough items, it's fine, I can run past everybody. And unless I'm doing a task that requires it. I don't need to go destroy every monster camp. And you just kind of hit that point, and... just has to do with how long the game is. What weapon am I holding? I need to make some new weapons. I don't need to make new weapons right now. Anyway, this cave rules. This little pirate cave in Eventide Isle, which... I guess that was the point I intended to make when I started this episode, but... the idea that you have these locations that had very specific purpose in Breath of the Wild that they then had to, like, recontextualize and... I think we've talked about, like, sometimes that's very successful and sometimes it's less successful, and I think here is totally fine. Pretty good idea. It's like, okay, well, we can't do the whole thing we did last time, so let's just turn this into a pirate island. I kind of expected to be a little bit on it coming through just now, but no, it's good. You can simply make something into a pirate island, and it's good every time. Pirates, they're good. $100. That's it for this cave. We're coming down to the wire, folks. Stay tuned. I don't know where we're going next, but just a few more to go. Kinda. I haven't looked at the spreadsheet in a minute, but I know we're getting close. Any day now.